Hi, and welcome to another episode of Above the Fold. Today we're going to be looking at something a little different. This is a municipal website for a small town in northern Ontario. I saw this and it is perhaps a little bit busy. I'm actually showing you, rather than just a screenshot, I'm showing you the whole live thing. It has like a ton of multi-level navigation, which, like, if you've ever had to use this sort of navigation, is super frustrating because if you go off of the navigation and suddenly you have to trace your way back through, there's just so much going on here. And this is a town of about 4,000 people. This is, by comparison, this is the city of Toronto. This is their website. So 1,000 times the population. And you can see they've got less going on here on the homepage. So they did make the use of mega menus, which are when you have menu panels that can have more than just a simple list. And you really need to do something like that with a municipal website because there's so much going on. But also pay attention to here that you have a search bar, which in my research has been pretty much ubiquitous for all municipal websites. And if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. So while a business website, typically you want to present somebody with a value proposition, with a municipal website, it's really about providing information. So we're just trying to find efficient ways for people to find information. And something like this is sort of a mess because you just got so many items and people aren't going to read through this stuff, generally speaking. They're going to just look at this and kind of, rage quit. Also, something else to point out here is that as the recording of this is in late June of 2025, and we have several pages in the navigation related to the 2022 election. So, there's that. But anyway, they do have kind of a nice local image, and, they do have a search field here, although it is not all that prominent. So let's take a look at the redesign. Okay. So here is the redesign. Now you'll see that what I have done with the navigation is to simplify it. We had a bunch of stuff, a bunch of extra top-level navigation that we didn't need, which is a theme if you've been watching these videos. Generally speaking, people don't put much thought into their navigation where it really is important. We can probably strip it down to these few things. Now the other thing is, like I said earlier, the search bar is actually really important. So it should be the star of the show here. So what are you looking for? And you can search right here. Now, you will need to make sure that you have a good search system set up. So as opposed to, like, if you're using WordPress, the built-in WordPress search is not great. And the search results template is kind of a mess, but that is all stuff that you could do on the back end. Also, just a link to get assistance because, invariably somebody's going to be looking for something. They're not going to know what something's called, and they are going to need to be able to get in touch with somebody. So whether that opens up a contact form or whether that opens up some sort of chat, there is the option to get assistance. But of course, we'd rather that they self-serve here on the search bar. If we look at the original page, if you get down slightly further, they have a news section. And I thought, it might be easy just to have at the bottom here of this hero section to have some news, because this is like more than just self-promotional stuff, this is community news. In this case, they have a boil water advisory in effect, and that's information that would be good to have publicly disseminated. So having that above the fold would be a good idea. Also, the image that I chose here, in this case, this is the town where my brother lives, and he is a professional photographer, so I grabbed one of his shots, because having a nice, compelling image here really does make a difference. So that's all I've got for this episode. If you want me to take a look at another website, leave a link in the comments, and maybe I will get a chance to look at that one and redesign the hero section on that website as well.